It's a good day to have a good day. Hello, everybody. My name's Ceci Rey. Thanks for joining me here at Break the Dish, where we break the news and dish out the tea. My breakers, how is your week so far? You know, it's been one of those weeks. I don't know about you, but weird things have been happening, like off the wall things. And the last 2 days, matter of fact, including today would be 3, there's been no sunshine. It has been completely foggy. It's really weird, you know? Like that eerie feeling. That's how it's been all week. Um, However, breakers, let's have a little chat, shall we? Uh, we are going to be talking about Bethenny Frankel. This is like the longest divorce in history, I swear. We're going to be talking about Bethenny Frankel. We're going to be talking about the reboot of RHONY. There is an update on the Osefo's case, Wendy and Eddie. And last but not least, we are going to get into the Nancy Guthrie of it all. But before we do, you know what to do. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because today, breakers, we're dishing the tea. Breakers, we're dishing the tea today, and we have a few things to talk about, actually. Let's start with Bethenny Frankel. This poor woman. I mean, she has been through it when it comes to this divorce. I mean, it was the longest divorce in history, and she's still got loose ends that need to be wrapped up. So the newest filings show that Bethenny Frankel has a $2 million legal malpractice lawsuit. This is against her former attorney, Jamie Schreck, and it has escalated into a dispute over whether she has been delaying the case or whether her ex-lawyer is mischaracterizing the timeline, okay? So what's going on is they're claiming that she has abandoned the case. Schreck argues that Frankel has not provided deposition dates since 2022, has ignored his $25,000 settlement offer, and has failed to prosecute the lawsuit for nearly 4 years. He says she has effectively walked away from the litigation. Now, Bethenny Frankel, however, might have a different story. What she's saying is her legal team disputes this, insisting she has not abandoned the case and has continued to engage with the litigation. They say the delays are not intentional and that Schreck's accusations misrepresent the situation. Now, this lawsuit is basically Bethenny Frankel originally sued Schreck in 2017. We're talking 9 years ago. And claiming he mishandled the legal documents related to her $4.995 million condo purchase during her divorce with Jason Hoppy. Remember the condo that she, had. And the alleged malpractice is tied to issues that surfaced during that long, contentious divorce. This poor woman, wrap it up and seal the deal. At this point, I mean, you don't need the money. I know, it's just the point of it all, but my goodness, it really is. She's really been through it when it comes to, this divorce. The case is still active, but right now it's stalled. Because the central fight is no longer about the original malpractice claim, but about who is responsible for the years-long delay. We're talking 9 years ago. This has been going on forever. forever. Gosh, Bethenny Frankel. And there's been this speculation as well, putting the case to the side. There's been this speculation as well that she might be joining the reboot of RHONY on E. What is it called? The Golden Life? That is not the case at all. I mean, she has come out and literally said, like, look, I wish these women luck. I want them to be successful, but she wants no part of it whatsoever. She's protecting her peace. She's protecting her life. Listen, Bethenny Frankel is in the middle of raising a teenager. I'm pretty sure that her daughter is probably getting ready to go to college. And they're living in Florida. She just wants peace. Really. She, works with certain brands and, she has a lot of irons in the fire. Let's put it that way. She doesn't need this, And that's what she said. She wishes all the ladies luck, but she's not even going to be a friend of, I don't blame her. I mean, that was the past. Keep moving forward, Bethenny. Keep moving forward. Okay, breakers, let's talk about the reboot of RHONY, Real Housewives of New York. And I'm not talking about the OGs. I'm talking about the ones up in New York. So they have started filming. The cast is set. First let's talk about who's going to be on the cast. So we have Sai Da Silva. She was on there before. Erin Leachy returning. And also Jessel Tank. She's returning too. Now, we also have 3 new housewives. So we have Daisy Toy. She used to be Martha Stewart's makeup artist. She is a beautiful woman, just gorgeous. We have Erica Hammond. She is a celebrity trainer, and apparently she's married to a billionaire. Yeah. And then we have Haley Glassman. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you, she is the ex-girlfriend of Jon Gosselin. Does that name ring a bell? Do you remember the show, I think it was on TLC, called Kate Plus 8? That Jon Gosselin. Yeah, with all those kids. She's the ex-girlfriend of him. I guess that's her claim to fame. I'm not quite sure. However, this chick is causing a stir already when they first started filming. So apparently, this content creator on TikTok, Claudia Oshry, her handle is at the girl with no job. She had a lot to say about this chick. Listen up.
Have like some tea. I don't know if tea is actually the right word for this, but I saw this post on Dumois talking about how new Real Houses of New York has started to begin filming. Here are the returning housewives and here are the new ones. And the new ones, sound a little familiar. Of course, I know my girl Erica Hammond. Great casting. And then I saw the name Haley Glassman. I could not put my finger on why her name sounded so familiar to me. So I went over to her Instagram. I did not recognize her face, nothing. And then I went to our messages. And that's when I realized, I know Haley Glassman. She has been a troll of mine, like a deep internet troll since 2017. The first message I ever received from her in 2017. Oh my God, your voice is so annoying, like Janice from Friends. Here's another one. Damn, you were thin. I must have posted an old photo of myself. She's obsessed with my weight. Look. Skinny mini now. Looks great, but you gotta own your on Wegovy. I was on Ozempic. You're an influencer and you should really be honest on your platform about it. When you need any skin tightening, since you definitely lost enough to need it, I'll set you up with a great plastic surgeon. Incredible shrinking woman. Thank you. Once you get to where you want, we'll take care of you for a 30s neck lift. Hashtag Glassman plastic surgery. Not Ben catching strays. Dad bod, LOL. But I think she's also like a huge fan because she also has like mazel tov when I announced I was pregnant. Here she is again, my biggest hater, my biggest supporter. Look, happy Mother's Day soon to be mama. And then literally a month later, so weird how you were skinnier pregnant than you were 2 years ago, not pregnant.
Hi everyone, Ceci Rey here. I wanted to tell you about one of my favorite, and I do mean favorite, websites for savings. And we all love savings. It is called Morning Save. And I'm going to show you why. Okay, so see this? Now, I'm showing you this for a reason. Okay? This is Dermalactives. It's a 7-in-1 LED light therapy mask. Now, you and I both know you can't find this for less than $100 anywhere, okay? I bought this for $39. Matter of fact, I bought one for my daughter too, and I bought it for $39 at Morning Save. Now, they not only just have beauty products, I mean, they have everything from fashion, home interior, organization, even sometimes cleaning supplies. But there is a catch. If you find something on that website and you don't buy it immediately, it could be gone. Just like that. Because they only have so much inventory. And when it's sold out, it's sold out. So make sure you visit Morning Save, go to the link in my description down below, and start all of your incredible savings.
Okay, breakers, let's talk about Wendy and Happy Eddie here, the Osefos. They were in court on March 4th, which was, I believe, yesterday. They are now having separate trials ordered. Multiple reports confirm that the judge has determined Wendy and Eddie Osefo will no longer be tried together. Both appeared in court on March 4th and waived their right to a speedy trial, clearing the way for two independent proceedings. And each trial is it's expected to last 4 days. I find this kind of interesting, actually. Let's go over this. So the couple was arrested in October 2025 and charged with a lot of accounts of fraud tied to an allegedly staged burglary and subsequent insurance claims. If they're convicted, they could face like a lot of prison time here. You know what I mean? Now, prior to this, the judge basically sided with the prosecution and is allowing the prosecution to where the defense has to turn over 8 years of financial documents, because the prosecutors are arguing that the records were necessary to investigate the alleged false insurance claims totaling almost $450,000. And they had all those credit cards, allegedly 67, I believe, in alias names. So the judge is saying, yes, you can go and look into their financials 8 years back. Why are they doing that? To prove intent, to prove that motive, to prove that this is why they staged the burglary. This is why they committed fraud on the insurance, because they were in so much debt. Okay. Now, separate trials, that often signals that, like, they can now do two different legal strategies, okay? Each defendant can now present a defense without being tied to the other one, okay? Breakers. I find this interesting. And I'll tell you why. This is just my opinion. And let me also remind everyone that this podcast is for entertainment purposes. I'm putting that out there because we are talking about active legal situations. We're going to be talking about Nancy Guthrie. So I just want to make sure I put that out there. Entertainment purposes, people. Entertainment purposes. Okay. So breakers, listen. This is my opinion. Do you recall during the reunion? I think I even talked about this on my recap, that Wendy went into an entire explanation of what happened when they came back from vacation. So Wendy stated that they got home, her daughter went upstairs, said that Zoe made a mess. Zoe is the family dog. She was thinking in her head, wow, that's weird because the dog wasn't even here. Her husband goes upstairs to take a look. He comes back down and says to Wendy, something's happened. We've been burglarized. Call 911. Now, if you recall during that reunion, Karen even said, stop talking. I beg you to stop talking. Like they can hear you. They see you. They listen, right? So this is my opinion. I could be wrong because, I'm not a lawyer or anything. But breakers, here we go. Ready? I think, number one, Wendy at the reunion set the stage up. She talked about the burglary. She went into detail to state on record, okay, that she knew nothing. She truly believes that she was burglarized, okay? Now, going forward, they're now doing separate trials. I wonder if this is a way for Eddie to kind of take the fall. Think about it. He was the one that went upstairs. He's the one that came back down and told Wendy, hey, yo, Wendy, something's happened. Call 911, right? We've been burglarized. He's the one that's been in contact with the insurance companies. He's the one that wrote that email. Remember the email suggesting, like, can you put more stuff on the list because I'm trying to get it up to 450,000, allegedly. I'm wondering if Eddie is going to take the fall. And Wendy set the stage at that reunion. You see what I'm saying? She set the stage. She explained what happened. She truly believes that she was burglarized and Eddie is going to take the fall. I wonder if this is what's going on and now they're having separate trials and he's going to take the fall because he wants at least one of them home with the kids. I really think that it could happen, to be quite honest. I really believe that because I think even in my recap, I was talking about how it was weird that she was like talking about it, like it was weird, right? I think she set the stage. I also think that waiving their right to a speedy trial pushes it back enough time that she can start filming for Real Housewives of Potomac. I mean, come on. We all know Andy. He's going to have those cameras up and flying. This is a huge storyline. Everybody's invested in it, and everybody wants to know what's going on, right? So this pushes her court date back, so this way she can start filming. This is what I think. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not anybody, right? This is just my opinion. But I do believe she set the stage at that reunion so that it was on record that she truly believes that she was burglarized. They're now having separate trials. He's going to take the fall. He's the one that went upstairs. He's the one that came down and said, we've been burglarized. He's the one that was in touch with these insurance companies. He's the one that wrote that email, remember? And he's going to get disbarred. We know that, right? I mean, chances are he's going to get disbarred. We don't even know what's going to happen with his company, Happy Eddie. Okay. With that being said, she's the one that's making the money right now. She's the one that's still employed. She's the one that's going to be filming Real Housewives of Potomac. It makes sense for her to be home, to keep making money, to film. I think Happy Eddie's not going to be happy for much longer. That's what I think. Just my opinion. Okay, breakers. Let's talk about Nancy Guthrie. I mean, you would have to be living under a rock not to know about this. Nancy Guthrie is the mother of Savannah Guthrie, an NBC, anchor. She's 84 years old, and in the middle of the night, she was kidnapped, taken out of her home. Something happened. Now, this is why I want to talk about this, okay? Number one, as of now, as I'm shooting this video, it is 33 days. 33 days that this mother has been missing. This grandmother has been missing. Where is Nancy? It's like she, poof, vanished off the face of the earth, okay? And I have questions. Don't you? I have some questions. So, number one, we got this footage, okay, from her camera. She had Nest, which is owned by Google. They went into their cloud or whatever and pulled this footage of someone at the front door. Okay? Now, my question is, number one, if they were able to get that footage off the front door, what happened to the cameras that were inside the house? What happened to the cameras that were on top of the house? That's what I want to know. If they were able to get that footage, did they get the other footage too? And they're not sharing it with us? You see what I'm saying? Now let's talk about the footage itself. I have questions. I have a lot of questions, matter of fact. So take a look at this footage, okay? You see him, I'm going to put this in quotes. You see someone hunched over, walking up to the front door, trying to hide the camera with his glove, walks back out the door, comes back again, grabs some shrubbery to hide the camera, to get the camera off, okay? Now, I have questions here. I have a lot of questions. Number one, I don't know why everyone is saying, oh, there could be an accomplice. Could be. I'm thinking there's at least two people, if not three people. And I'm going to tell you why. First off, if you slow down that film, you can see in this person's pocket, it looks like a walkie-talkie. It does. It looks like a walkie-talkie, which would make sense if there's more than one person on this job so that they could talk to each other, right? The second thing is, first off, if you slow down that film, you can see in this person's pocket, it looks like a walkie-talkie. It does. It looks like a walkie-talkie, which would make sense if there's more than one person on this job so that they could talk to each other, right? Okay, so the second thing is that when you slow that footage down, you can see somebody reaching out the front door. Okay, so the person's standing and they're opening the door and they're reaching out the front door with their cell phone, with the light on their cell phone, trying to help this person see what they're doing to be able to get that camera off. Why is it there could be an accomplice? There's proof that there is at least 2 people now. And I'm thinking there might be a third. So when he goes up to the door, okay, you have to remember there's glass at that door, okay? This person's kind of looking through the glass, almost like, yo, buddy, can you help me out here? I need to get this camera off. Or he's looking like, can you open the front door? Are you ready? And while this is all going on, where's Nancy? What did they do with Nancy? Do they have her tied up? They're certainly not doing this while she's sleeping in bed. So we also know that they were in there, 41 minutes? What were they doing? Having a cup of tea? I mean, seriously. It's weird. The whole thing is weird. The other thing I don't understand is now we have another Ring camera footage of this car that's on the road coming from Nancy's house at the time that it's only like a couple minutes difference from the time her pacemaker left the cell phone, okay? This car is racing by this person's house. Now, from what I understand, it's pitch dark. There's no street lights. And this road is kind of like, you got to know this road. Not a lot of people take this road. So you really got to know this road, which tells me it's somebody who lives local, somebody who's been on that road before. You see what I'm saying? Don't understand, and I have questions, is when this footage was given to, I don't know, the sheriff, the FBI, somebody, right away they said, oh, that has nothing to do with the Nancy Guthrie case. Are you serious? And now you're taking a look at it 33 days later? Or how about the 911 call? From what I heard, there was a 911 call that came in at like 2:30 in the morning. And this woman called and said that this car, there was a woman screaming outside this car. The car was heading on Oracle Road, I believe they said, and turned down River Road. And this woman was like literally trying to jump out of the car, like she was screaming. This is why this lady called 911. And right away, nope, not related to the Nancy Guthrie case. How many people are screaming out of a car in that area at 2:30 in the morning? I'm just saying, how come everything that is given, any lead, anything, right away, the public is told, not related to the Nancy Guthrie case. Not related. Not related. Seriously? 33 days this woman has been missing. 33 days. Now, we've heard all these different theories. The latest one is it's a burglary gone wrong. That backpack that this person has is filled to the brim. I'm pretty sure they're not going in to take something. Matter of fact, as far as the public knows, nothing was touched. They didn't take anything, not even $1, nothing. So obviously it wasn't a burglary. So why did they take her? I also find it interesting that in the beginning of this case, there was a card left on, I don't know if it was her door or Annie's door, her daughter, that was a representative from Adult Protective Services. Yeah. What's that about? What is that about? Is it possible that Nancy found out something, knew something, maybe somebody was taking money or jewelry from her or something like that, and she was reporting it or somebody else reported it for her, and whoever it was, these people were like, I'm not going to jail. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, who goes in the middle of the night and kidnaps an 84-year-old woman who can barely walk? They certainly didn't take her out saying, come on, Nancy, we're almost at the car, hurry up. It didn't go down like that. You see what I'm saying? Now, I understand that the investigators, they're not going to tell the public everything. Of course not. I get that. But I have a lot of questions. Like, I don't understand how come every single thing that the media reports, not related to the Nancy Guthrie case, and now this car that's on this footage speeding by 33 days later, okay, we might look into it. What is going on? 33 days this woman has been missing. 33 days. And why I want to talk about it is because now the media is out. The sheriff made the media leave. Once the media leaves, there's no pressure from the public to solve this case. Like, I'm not saying it's closed. I'm not saying it's cold, but it's no longer a leading story. The media now moves on to the next leading story. And that's the end of it. So I'm talking about it now with you, my breakers, because I want us to remember this woman was taken in the middle of the night from her home and vanished. Poof. Nobody knows what. Where is Nancy? Where is Nancy Guthrie? Where is this 84-year-old woman who was taken in the middle of the night? It has been 33 days, and it's like, poof, she vanished off the face of the earth. I have a lot of questions. Don't you? I want to know why every person you see reporting this is now like, well, there could be accomplices. Could be. Right in front of you. There's at least two people. The cell phone light. I'm sure this person didn't grow a third arm. You know what I mean? And listen, this is like out of the box, off the wall theory. What if the person on that footage is not a guy? I'm just saying. Because think about it. They went to a lot of trouble to wear several layers of gloves, several layers of clothing. Okay? They want to hide their identity completely. Why is it impossible that if it was a woman, that they put on a mustache, like one of those glue-on things with a goatee, underneath the mask, knowing that it possibly could show, so they would not be recognized? If you look at this person's eyes, they are extremely feminine. I mean, I've seen men with beautiful eyes, you know what I'm saying? But these look so feminine. The other thing I question about this is where the gun is sitting on this person. I don't know any guy that would walk around with a gun in front of their You know what I mean? Like it's literally in the middle of their legs. What guy would do that? I mean, wouldn't that kind of be uncomfortable or get in the way or something? But if it was a woman, they don't have a right? Think about it. I don't know. It's just a theory. I mean, they went out of their way to, you know, have a lot of layers on, have a lot of gloves on. What if they have a lot of layers of clothing on, and it's a woman? I mean, I'm just saying. And if there's 3 people involved, somebody driving the car, somebody's in the house, the person in the house is the strong person. They're the person that's going to handle Nancy. Why couldn't this be a woman? Why couldn't they turned around and said, okay, this is your job. You just need to go up to the front door, grab the camera, then I'm going to open the front door and we're going to get her out. Why is that an impossibility? I'm just saying. Listen, I'm not an investigator. And I'm just thinking outside the box because there's nothing else to do because we have no information. Now, I understand they're not going to tell us everything, but it's 33 days. Where is Nancy? She didn't just disappear off the face of the earth. Aliens did not come down and zap her to Mars. Where is she? I have a lot of questions. What happened to this 84-year-old woman? And why did they take her? There has to be a reason of why they took her. It's not for ransom. It's not for money. They didn't burglarize her, according to, the police department. Nothing was touched. So why did these people take her? There has to be a reason. There has to be. She either knew something, said something. They didn't want her to spill the beans. Why did they take this 84-year-old woman? Where is Nancy? And I'm talking about it now because the media's gone. They're going to the next story. And we need to remember there's a family grieving and a woman is missing. An 84-year-old woman at that. Where is Nancy? I'm just saying. But that's the end of the tea that I have for you breakers. Don't forget to look out for my recap of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And guess what? I forgot to also tell you, or remind you that is, that Ladies of London, that's right, is starting up, I believe tomorrow. I could be wrong, but I believe it's tomorrow. And this is a new cast. Should be quite interesting. I wonder how it's going to be. Because I loved the original Ladies of London. So I wonder how this is going to be. Because these reboots that Bravo keeps doing, they're not turning out so well, to be quite honest. But we'll see, right? Only time will tell. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let's continue this conversation down below in the comments. And don't forget, here we break the day.